Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into a really strange paradox that happens in the most remarkably ordinary, mundane moments of our lives. We're calling it the cognitive alchemy of boredom. And think about that word for a second, alchemy. It's the idea of taking something completely basic, something super common, and literally transforming it into gold. Well, believe it or not, that is exactly what your brain is doing when you think it's doing absolutely nothing. So stick with me, because today we're going to fundamentally change the way you view the quiet, uneventful moments of your day.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the dishwashing epiphany.
You know what's funny? Have you ever noticed that your absolute best, most brilliant ideas almost never come to you when you're staring intensely at a computer screen, gripping a pen, and just desperately trying to force a solution? It doesn't work. Instead, they strike entirely out of nowhere. I mean, think about the last time a massive light bulb went off in your head while your hands were covered in soap suds, or maybe while you were folding a giant pile of laundry. It's this totally universal human experience, and as we're going to see, it is absolutely not a coincidence.
Whether it's washing those dishes, just staring blankly out a window, or doing completely mindless tasks, when you engage in these repetitive, low-stakes activities, you are creating the exact environment required for your brain to begin a profound internal shift. You aren't just cleaning plates, you're literally setting a biological stage. Your conscious mind gets occupied just enough by the physical repetition that it drops its guard, and that allows something incredible to happen right beneath the surface.
Which brings us to Section 2, Society's Hatred of Boredom.
Let's be real, we live in a hyper-stimulated world that absolutely despises boredom. We are constantly conditioned to view staring into space as a total waste of valuable time. We feel guilty the second we aren't actively producing something, right? But psychology reveals a stark contrast here. This so-called boredom is actually an essential trigger for creativity. What society aggressively labels as a waste of time, science actually identifies as a highly productive tool for the human mind. Mind-wandering isn't some glitch or bug in our system, it's a critical feature.
So, let's look at the neuroscience in Section 3, beta versus alpha waves.
Okay, so what is actually happening inside your head? Well, when you're focused, stressed, and actively trying to solve a problem, your brain is operating in what we call beta waves. It's a highly active, engaged state. And hey, that's great for focused execution, but it's terrible for making new, out-of-the-box connections. But when you finally step away to wash those dishes, mind wandering allows your brain to shift out of those high-stress beta waves and slide right into a totally different state, alpha waves. This is the relaxed frequency where deep creativity actually begins. You quite literally have to change the physical frequency of your brain to access your best ideas.
And that sets us up perfectly for Section 4, the incubation effect.
So, this hidden cognitive alchemy we've been talking about, it actually has a formal name. It's known as the incubation effect. It's an essential psychological trigger that proves stepping away from a task isn't quitting. In fact, it's often the only way to allow your mind to subconsciously process and solve really complex problems. While your conscious mind is just casually staring out the window, your subconscious completely takes over the heavy lifting. It's connecting dots and organizing information totally free from the stressful interference of your beta waves.
Let's make this practical. In Section 5, making space to think. How does this actually translate into your daily life? Well, it forms a highly practical workflow. It's the true life cycle of a brilliant idea. Step 1. You engage with a complex problem. You put the information in, but, and this is key, you don't force the answer. Step 2. You intentionally step away and just allow mind wandering to happen. Step 3 is where the magic kicks in. You experience the incubation effect as your brain shifts into those relaxed alpha waves. And finally, Step 4, you subconsciously arrive at the solution. So, giving up and going to do a mundane chore? It's actually a highly productive phase in your creative process.
Bringing all this research together, we're left with a few absolutely crucial takeaways. First off, the science completely validates our biological need for mental space. You are not lazy for needing a break. Your biology literally demands it. Second, it highlights the immense importance of selective organization. When you finally clear your conscious plate, your subconscious has the room to selectively organize your messy thoughts. And third, you can actually solve complex problems through relaxation. By intentionally giving yourself empty mental space, you become a far better problem solver.
So, I want to leave you with one final question today. When was the last time you let yourself do absolutely nothing? And I mean nothing, without a podcast playing in the background, without endlessly scrolling on your phone, without feeling an ounce of guilt. I challenge you to reclaim your boredom. The next time you find yourself just staring out a window, don't rush to fill the silence. Embrace that cognitive alchemy happening right there in your mind and just wait to see what brilliant, untapped ideas surface from the empty space. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, enjoy your next round of washing the dishes.